Hey, what's up, YouTube fans? So, what I wanted to talk about in this video that I find funny, right, is not only do most creationists actually believe in evolution without actually realizing it because they don't actually understand the actual definition of evolution, but even many, if not most, creationists actually believe in macroevolution, right, without realizing it because they don't understand the correct meaning of those terms, right? Because they will commonly say like, we accept adaptation but not evolution. Yet adaptation is evolution by definition, and it's also not the only type of evolution that's observed to occur, right? Genetic drift is also observed to occur. And adaptation, right? That's the core concept that Darwin proposed, right? Natural selection is what we refer to as adaptation, right? And then some of them will say like, okay, well, I guess technically I believe in evolution, but not macroevolution. Macroevolution is really what we have a problem with. And yet, unbeknownst to them, many of them actually do accept what actually could be considered macroevolution. Because so first, the whole distinction between micro versus macroevolution, even though that's often made into be the big thing that's like, oh, well, this is the part that we have a problem with. It's not even actually precisely defined where exactly do we draw the line between micro and macroevolution. Macroevolution relies on the same fundamental mechanisms as microevolution, right? But just at a larger scale, right? And macroevolution is most commonly defined as evolution at or above the species level, but the thing is, what exactly is a species? That's very much debated. What exactly is a species, especially in the case of asexually reproducing species. And this is what else, even the evolution of new species is something that's been observed, right? It's not only something that happened deep in the past, it's been observed numerous times in the present to occur, the evolution of new species, right? And furthermore, this was more because of the fact that it's observed, many, if not most, creationists accept that new species can evolve. And not only that, but it's very common that many of them will think that large groups of species, like at least up to the family level taxonomically, that they could all be related. Like that's the position that Answers in Genesis takes, which is like the biggest creationist organization in the United States. They will tend to take the position that like generally what's considered at the family level taxonomically, that everything within that group could be related. And that's a pretty common position for creationists, and part of the reason of why they accept that is because they actually have to, because of that they want to believe in the Noah's Ark story, and so they have to fit all of the animals on the ark. So if they say that every species that exists now had to have existed then, it's too many animals to fit on the ark. The math doesn't add up, right? And so one of the ways that they would try to compensate for that is that they would say like, okay, well, groups that would generally be taxonomically a family, we would say that they could have started as a single species and then branched off, but anything beyond that, it couldn't have happened, right? But see, this is the thing, even that, to that level of the family level, that's well above the species level. So that's enough that it's macroevolution, right? So, unbeknownst to them, not only do they agree with evolution, they actually even agree with macroevolution, right? And not only that, they agree with a more rapid, fast version of macroevolution than mainstream scientists would, right? Because since they're trying to explain how Noah's Ark could have happened, they're believing that this macroevolution took place rapidly within just a few thousand years, whereas mainstream scientists would think that it took millions of years, right? And so they think that rapidly within a few thousand years, macroevolutionary events occurred, right? But then, anything beyond that, it couldn't have happened. It just is crazy. Anything beyond that point, it could get to that point, but, arbitrarily at the line, even though we don't even know exactly where the line is, what exactly is the line, no one could say precisely. Could these two groups be related? It's going to be different answers from different creationists. They don't actually know where to draw the line, and yet they still insist the line is somewhere. And so all right, that's all for now. See you guys.